From the Convergence Studio,
The strike took place on Loyola's Lakeshore campus, with protesters taking to the streets, arranging speeches, and rallying throughout campus. Welcome to this week's episode of Loyola News Chicago. I'm Jackie Drees.
And I'm Betsy Moline. Tensions are running high in the Loyola community. Some of the university's faculty and students participated in a one-day strike. Adjunct and non-tenured professors have been trying to get a new contract with the university for more than 2 years. Yesterday, the union decided time was up. I was there reporting from the scene. Some Loyola classrooms are empty today as professors and students participate in a strike. Professors from Loyola's College of Arts and Sciences are fighting for fair wages, more benefits, and job security for adjunct and non-tenured professors. Loyola's administration worried the protest is disrupting students' education, but protesters believe the strike is beneficial to the student body.
We are doing this for our students because our working conditions are our students' learning environments. I am teaching. I say that I'm teaching students how to stand up for their own rights, stand up for respect, and stand up for the social justice mission of this university.
Despite sitting down for a bargaining session yesterday, Loyola administration and its adjunct professors have not reached a contract agreement, meaning today students, faculty, and staff alike have taken to the streets in protest. Many adjunct professors have to work multiple jobs to make a living wage, not leaving a lot of time to devote to students.
I have taught up to 5 different jobs at a time to make ends meet here in the city.
So many of the faculty here are not able to mentor our students, and our students deserve to have the adults in their lives available to them.
The university sent out an email before the strike, condemning the union's actions and stating they attempted to reach an agreement Tuesday night.
The university pulled a total 180 at the 11th hour. They put in what are called poison pills. They put in proposals that, if we had accepted them, would have really undercut our entire contract.
The university issued another public statement after the strike, saying that the union was not being honest about what happened at the negotiation table. Loyola administration stated they offered a 33 to 35% pay raise, as well as extending appointments for adjunct and non-tenured faculty. Union members claimed the university backed out of providing vital job security. However, the university said its contract is comparable to peer universities' union contracts. Loyola's adjunct faculty is still hoping to come to an agreement with administration. The next bargaining session is scheduled for April 20th. Betsy Moline, Loyola News Chicago. There will be a town hall held Friday at 7 p.m. in Cudahy to discuss further events.
Some adjunct professors at Loyola didn't see the need for the strike. Alexis Sarkeesian has been an adjunct professor at Loyola for 8 years and was not aware of the rising tensions.
I love working with Loyola students. I think that Loyola students are among some of the most intelligent, very ethical, thoughtful students that I've taught in my career. And of course, I love teaching what I teach, so that always makes it very pleasurable too.
Sarkeesian teaches classes in the School of Communication, which was not involved in yesterday's strike. She also teaches at 3 other universities in addition to Loyola.
You can't live on an adjunct salary alone. It's just not possible.
Sarkeesian says that many adjuncts she knows teach in addition to working another job.
The adjunct faculty strike led to varied reactions, especially among Loyola's student body. The union strike on Wednesday led to class cancellations, bringing the protest to the attention of many students. However, the rally left some confused. Emails from administration contradicted the messages of protesters, leaving some questioning the intentions of both parties. The confusion was only made worse by a lack of understanding of the adjunct faculty issue.
You know, as soon as I feel like I understand what exactly is happening, the other side comes in with some other like, oh, that's not how it is, and it's kind of hard to believe who is telling the truth, and I think that's the biggest thing we want right now is just to know the truth.
There was like a way that we could just combine both of those informations for like one neutral point of view. That would be like the best way of like getting the students informed.
Students hope the upcoming negotiation on the 20th of the month will shed more light on the issue.
A police and security consulting firm is now investigating the Loyola campus safety incident that happened in late February. Many students took video of the incident on their iPhones and posted it to social media. The incident involved 2 Loyola students who were allegedly racially profiled by campus safety. Hillard Heinz, the firm hired by Loyola, will conduct an investigation and discuss their recommendations with Loyola President Joanne Rooney by the end of the month. Rooney also announced an independent task force to participate in the investigation, including students, faculty, staff, and outside experts.
Over the summer, one of Loyola's residence halls will be getting a makeover. Simpson Center has planned renovations, including new furniture in dorm rooms and lounges and updated plumbing. This will not lead to an increase in price for the new residents. Construction is planned for May 14th to August 10th and is expected to cost $8.8 million. The renovation will not be adding any rooms to the residence hall, even though nearly 250 Loyola upperclassmen have not been guaranteed housing for next year. Students are placed on this list when lottery numbers are given out for housing. After being placed, students have the option to wait on campus housing to open up or to look for apartments elsewhere. In 2017, more than 300 students were placed on this list. 184 elected to stay on it, and of that, 23 were left without a dorm. Loyola's rise in enrollment contributed to the lack of space. The current freshman class is the largest Loyola has ever seen.
There's been a growing concern over synthetic marijuana because of the side effects it's causing. It's known as spice, K2, or synthetic marijuana. It's a human-made chemical not to be mistaken with actual cannabis. The state health department warns that it can be more powerful than marijuana and cause very harmful mental and physical effects. There have been 89 cases of severe bleeding because of K2 that was laced with rat poison. 24 cases of severe bleeding have been seen in Chicago and in Peoria County, and most of the people affected are between the ages of 25 and 34. K2 was banned in Illinois in 2011, and some people are reacting on Twitter saying this would not happen if marijuana were legal. 2 people have died from the tainted K2.
Coming up, we'll tell you the results of the student government election.
And the men's basketball team's March Madness results.
Did you know there's a right way to sneeze? Let's show them in, look. When you feel like your nose needs to give it at you, this is how you act, this is what you do. Lift your arm up high, bend it toward your face. Sneeze right there in the bendy place. Achoo, achoo, you can do it with ease. Achoo, achoo, that's the right way to sneeze. Thank you.
To learn more about preventing flu, visit flu.gov.
This can't be happening. This can't be happening.
Of course it's not happening. Armored car. Listen, having money isn't about luck. Make your own coffee, save $1,000 a year. Feed me. Feed the pig.
The Loyola men's basketball team swept up Chicago in Rambler Mania. Henry Redmond has more on the men's basketball team.
After an incredible run to the Final Four, the Ramblers' season ended in San Antonio. The Final Four game was the end. A heartbreaking 69-57 loss to Michigan meant the clock struck midnight on the Ramblers' Cinderella run. After the game, freshman Cameron Krutwig talked about what this year's success means for the program's future.
This year was a great season, great year for us. But next year the expectations don't change for us, and I definitely know Coach isn't going to let anything slip.
The Ramblers will bring back 10 of their 15 roster players next year. The Final Four game was the end of the road for teammates since third grade senior Ben Richardson and redshirt junior Clayton Custer. The duo won 2 Kansas State championships in high school and ended their careers together in the Final Four. After the game, Custer held his arm around the sobbing Richardson as they left the court together for the last time. Post-game, Custer reflected on the time they've spent together.
And I'm proud to call him my best friend. We've gone through so much together. We've gone through things off the court. We've gone through things on the court. We've gone through so much adversity together. And I'm just so sad for him that his college career is over.
Richardson will graduate in May, and Custer will return for his redshirt senior year next season. The Loyola men's basketball team amazed the nation with its run to the Final Four. The Ramblers wrapped up their best season since the 1963 national championship year with a loss to the Michigan Wolverines. While the loss was heartbreaking to the team, students, and Chicagoans that fell in love with them, it was a historic year for Loyola basketball. The Ramblers won a program-best 32 games. Redshirt junior Clayton Custer became the Ramblers' first MVC Player of the Year, earned honorable mention All-American honors, and won the Lou Henson Award for the country's best mid-major player. Dante Ingram, Marcus Towns, and Ben Richardson all made the NCAA tournament's All-South Region team. Cameron Krutwig became the team's first MVC Freshman of the Year since Milton Doyle. The Ramblers ended the year ranked number 7 in the USA Today coaches poll. Everyone in the world knows who Sister Jean is, and Loyola looks like it will be good again next year. The Ramblers will return 10 of its 15 players and welcome a highly touted recruiting class. Loyola couldn't make it to the national championship, but another Catholic school did. Villanova University cut down the nets the second time in 3 years. The Wildcats beat the Wolverines 79-62. Villanova was led by bench player Dante DiVincenzo, who scored 31 points. Villanova won every game in the NCAA tournament by double digits. Junior Mikhail Bridges talked about how the team crushed all of its opponents.
We don't even think about that. It's just us keep grinding as a team, keep getting stops defensively and never give it up. And maybe that's the reason why we just keep getting double digits. But we don't go out there thinking to win by double digits. We just go out there and try to play our way for 40 minutes.
Villanova will lose Bridges and National Player of the Year Jalen Brunson to the NBA draft this offseason. The national championship was played in front of more than 60,000 people. That's a big jump from Gentile Arena for Loyola's players. LNC reporter Haley Spittler found out if student engagement will continue next year.
The further the men's basketball team got in the big dance, the more and more fans showed up. But the question becomes next season, will they still be around?
I was never into basketball when I first started, but I think it created a big bond with everyone on campus. So that energy that they harvested during the season, I definitely want to be part of again. So I'll definitely be attending all the games.
I'm a senior right now, so it was definitely cool to see them have the success they had for this year. Just because over the past few years they've been working to get better, but this is definitely like a really big jump. So definitely can help the school get the name out there. Definitely as an alumni, definitely really want to come to games for next year. Definitely want to see how they can go from here because they had a really great year this year.
The home games are already super fun this year and like really exciting, so I'm imagining next year is just going to be just as good, maybe even better.
The only home game to sell out this season was the last game against Illinois State University. Both all of these new fans will have to see how many sell out next season. Haley Spittler, Loyola, New Chicago.
Loyola had the lowest attendance average of any Final Four team this year, but Loyola students claim they'll be out in force next season.
Every year, the NCAA puts together a recap video of the tournament called One Shining Moment. Our very own Henry himself had a cameo in it this year.
Yeah, I might have been cut from my 8th grade basketball team, but that didn't stop me from reaching the top of Division I basketball.
Got your own shining moment.
I did.
Thanks, Henry.
Anusha Manam and Adriana Cabello are the newest president and vice president of Loyola Chicago's student government. Manam, who was SGLC's previous vice president, defeated sophomore David Kwok for the presidency. The results were announced March 26th following a 4-day online voting period for students. Manam and Caballero were sworn into their prospective roles Tuesday at the SGLC Senate meeting. Loyola School of Communication has received high honors from the Association of Education in Journalism and Mass Communication this year. Our dean, Don Heider, has been named the Scripps Howard Foundation Administrator of the Year Award, and just this week, Professor Lee Hood won the Edward L. Biss Award for Distinguished Broadcast Journalism Education. Dean Heider was recognized for his excellent vision, leadership, and creativity in leading the school. Professor Hood was recognized for longstanding excellence in innovating, teaching, service, and research.
Coming up, Houston has a new art installation that looks eerily similar to a Chicago icon.
And we get a peek at Chicago from the eyes of a tourist.
Hey, Luis, did you know that you're Elmo's plan?
Your plan?
Yeah, Elmo's mommy said that if Elmo is too sick to go to school, the plan is that Elmo stays with Luis and Maria.
Oh, yes, we have that plan all in place.
Great!
You never know when your child will be too sick to go to school. So have a plan ready so your child can stay home and get healthy.
Luis is the man, because he's Elmo's plan. The man, because he's Elmo's plan.
To learn more about preventing flu, visit flu.gov.
Miss? 多少钱一碗？一碗 just 一碗。我和你 I'll pay you money. I've got this money here. Please take the money, please. Thank you.
把他带走。
Chicago welcomes a lot of tourists during spring break, but how does a visitor perceive our city? Today we are talking to Mark Castillo from Spain.
Hello, Jackie. I came to Chicago in January in the middle of the winter, but I received a warm welcome. I'm here this semester as a student from Spain. It's my first time in Chicago, but I feel like I have been living here for a long time. As a European, Chicago impressed me from the very first day. First of all, because of its skyscrapers, I soon discovered a couple of places where I can see the skyline, like the aquarium or Navy Pier. But the most impressive thing is the architecture. Each building is an artwork in itself. Tourists and residents can enjoy just walking around the city and admiring the buildings from the street and from many of the rooftops in Chicago. I feel one of the strongest points of the city is Lake Michigan. The contrast between the big city and nature is awesome and balancing. It is like the calm within a busy society. Chicago's essence can also be felt in the blues bar and the long-time businesses that still survive and thrive. It is a city where many people feel comfortable, and other international students have noticed the same thing.
I feel very comfortable living in Chicago because people is so nice. I am also discovering a lot of great music. People from here have a lot of opportunities to listen to music in different clubs, jazz music, blues music.
I love living in Chicago because I feel like at home. There are a lot of things to do in this city. You can go to a lot of restaurants, you can meet new people every day, but the only thing I don't like is the weather.
There are so many different cultures that it's difficult to feel different or unaccepted. People from Chicago tolerate other races, other nationalities, other ways of thinking very well, and it makes the tourists feel comfortable and at home. Chicago is welcoming. The big city and Lake Michigan, they both seem to say hello, enjoy it here, so we do. It's for sure a great city to visit and live.
Thanks, Mar, for showing us Chicago from a different perspective. I hope you enjoy the rest of your time here.
Houston is rivaling Chicago with a new art installation. Houston has put up a sculpture resembling Chicago's Cloud Gate by the same artist, Anish Kapoor. They call it Cloud Column, and it resembles a rotated version of our Cloud Gate, aka the Bean. Chicago and Houston residents are expressing their opinions on Twitter. One trending story is about two men protesting the Cloud Column after missing their flight back to Chicago. The Chicago Tribune and Houston Chronicle have heightened the rivalry with letters to each other. Chicago's letter said, "Unoriginal Houston gets its own bean sculpture. Whatever." Houston said, "Their bean is better," and so is Houston. Say what they will, but we had it first.
Yeah, I mean, I might be biased, but I think Chicago's bean is pretty great. That's it for this week's episode of Loyola News Chicago. Make sure you tune in next week for our special episode on all things March Madness. I'm Jackie Drees.
And I'm Betsy Moline. Thanks for watching.